Kimbell here with the Los Angeles Clippers.
Rick, the first thing you see is Charles Smith, their power forward, meeting him with a hat. He's already saying, pass me the ball. These big guys all want the ball. Good luck.
I know, because you saw those statistics up there. 35 points a game, over 50% shooting. You know, they say weakness. I mean, you're really stretching to look for it. I mean, this is an exceptional young man. More, you know, even more so than the fact that he's a great athlete. He's a terrific person, and I think everybody realizes that, and the Clippers are delighted to have him as a part of their organization.
You know, Bob, you talk about this young man, all right? He says that he's going to shoot his free throws left-handed in the NCAA tournament in memory of Hank Gathers. He not only shot them, he made 3 for 3, hit nothing but the bottom of the net. This kid is a quality kid, great speed, quickness. I think he's going to be a tremendous NBA player.
And he has a sense of perspective, too. He said also his first free throw in the NBA will be left-handed. And then he said, we're putting that behind us. I'm going ahead with my career. We're going to have fond memories of Hank Gathers, and I will move on, and now get a chance to move on with the Los Angeles Clippers. Let's meet this outstanding young man, Bo Kimbell.
Well, it's been an emotional 24 hours, but probably no match for the emotional year you've had. Any way to express how it finally feels now to sit here and say, yes, I'm in the NBA?
Well, actually, it's definitely a dream come true. The L.A. Clippers is a team that I wanted to play for, sitting in that chair, and to have everything come out so perfectly, God is so great.
Well, Bo, you got the reaction that most New York people give the New York pick. You got a lot of friends back here. Certainly, you've got a lot of friends out on the West Coast. Charles Smith was here. So you're already a Los Angeles Clipper. They feel very good. Offense is one of the things that you do very well, but in the one-on-one, you showed you could play some defense.
Yes, I think that's been the doubt all year, that if Bo can play defense, and I went to Orlando, did well defensively, and played the one-on-one, beat some of the top guys defensively. So I think now that everything is clear, I do play D.
So now we got the T-shirt, Bo knows defense, right?
That's right.
Lionel Simmons and Bo Kimbell go 7 and 8. Up next, the Miami Heat. Join us as we continue our coverage of the 1990 NBA Draft from the Javits Center.
They perform like great athletic shoes. And for a limited time, when you buy 4 B.F. Goodrich TA tires, get your favorite team jacket free. Distinctive styling. 100% cotton. With your choice of 26 Major League team logos. Hustle into a participating dealer for great performance tires and your free team jacket.
You can do it with True Value.
Add spark to your surroundings during True Test Anniversary Paint Days. Weatherall acrylic latex house paint goes on easy to add a durable coat to your home. It keeps its good looks while protecting your biggest investment. And right now, Weatherall Flat Finish is only $11.98 a gallon. Choose from hundreds of colors during True Test Anniversary Paint Days at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Hey, only a friend is going to tell you about, you know, hanging out in that monkey suit. Well, you're attracting the wrong kind of attention. At a party, you got people offering you deals on kiwi farms instead of plates of hors d'oeuvres. I mean, loosen up. Like, be yourself. Try changing your clothes, for starters. Then, maybe get a dog. A Bouvier, a Shar-Pei, something.
Sunday night alert. The NFL comes to TNT. Sunday Nitro. Sunday night games begin August 19th on TNT.
And back at the Javits Center in New York City, along with Rick Barry and Doug Collins, this is Bob Neal with the 1990 NBA Draft. And let's have a look at what has happened so far. The number 1 pick, Derek Coleman out of Syracuse. Gary Payton went to the Sonics. Chris Jackson to the Nuggets. Dennis Scott to Orlando. Kendall Gill to Charlotte. Felton Spencer, the first big man to go, the real big man, who went to Minnesota Timberwolves. And Lionel Simmons went to the Sacramento Kings, followed by the selection you saw just a moment ago, Bo Kimbell going to the Los Angeles Clippers. And coming up now, the Miami Heat with an opportunity to draft next. And Miami has done pretty well with their draft in the past. Cycli played well, of course. Sherman Douglas did all right. They had some problems in terms of the disappointing play of Glenn Rice. They expect him to do a little bit more. So what do we think about Miami, first of all, Doug?
Well, I think the one thing they've done is they felt like that what they needed two players rather than one. They had the third pick. They made the deal to go 9-15 with Denver. They have a couple different ways they can go. If they go small, you're thinking of a Willie Burton. He can play two positions, small, forward, big guard. If they go big, you're talking about a Alec Kessler, Loy Vaught, or a Tyrone Hill. So, Rick, I don't know what your feeling is.
Well, I agree with you there. I think that the consensus down there, although will have to come out as to who is going to be better. Will Burton be better than some of the big guys? And that's going to be the major decision. But I think that those are the three players that they perhaps are considering, and they very well may lean towards the better athlete of the three. And that's very well, I would think, would be Burton.
Well, Miami can certainly use the help. Only 18 games did they win last year. Let's find out from David Stern.
With the 9th pick in the 1990 NBA draft, the Miami Heat select Willie Burton from Minnesota.
Willie Burton from the Minnesota Golden Gophers, the 9th overall selection in 1990, goes to Miami. Willie Burton is you might call him a prototype type small forward. He is a guy who can really help them, as Doug told you. He's 6'6.5" is one of his listings of his height, and his weight went up and down a little bit. He started 203 coming out. He's gained a few pounds. But he says all muscle since he came out of college. Here's a look at the strengths and weaknesses of Willie Burton.
Well, go ahead, Rick. When I hear people, you talk about people saying, hey, he's a little skinny, can't play. I remember a skinny guy back in 1965 who weighed about 190 pounds, about 6'7.5", and I really didn't have much problem going in there and play. I mean, if you're competitive, but you have some strength, you can compete in this league without having to be any kind of a big brute force, but it's nice to have the strength. You don't have to have the big body to go with it.
Willie Burton, the selection of the Miami Heat. There's a look at his mother. And Cycli and Douglas and Miami is looking like a pretty good roster down there with some young players.
They really are. You know, you think that they've got Sherman Douglas. We're going to take a look at Willie Burton now. They've got a Glenn Rice. You remember Kevin Edwards of a couple years ago. So they're starting to put together a good young ball club. I give them a lot of credit. They've lost some ball games, but you know what? They have not wavered in the way they want to build that franchise. Give Billy Cunningham, Louis Chappelle, and those people a lot of credit down there that they have a plan. They're going to stick with it. They're going to continue to add talent, and they're going to get better every single year. Hopefully be able to put something together that'll last for a long time.
Now let's go to Craig Sager and meet Willie Burton from the University of Minnesota.
Well, thank you, Bob. Everybody, after the draft, showed some sort of emotion, but you seem to be more excited than anybody.
Well, definitely. This is a chance and a dream come true of a lifetime, and I feel that if that emotion is there, then you should show it.
You showed a lot of emotion, but you also showed a lot of heart because you fought your way into this position. Into the season, Minnesota played well, but you played better in the postseason tournaments. Did you have a plan going in?
Well, my plan was just to go in and show them what I could do other than what they saw the 4 years. The 4 years I was at Minnesota, I was in a position to help the team, and that was primarily what I did. And I was satisfied with that, but I wanted to let them know that I could do other things also, and I think I did that.
Having grown up in Detroit, playing in Minnesota, what about going to Miami? You like the warm weather?
We'll find out.
You did well when you were down in Orlando, the MVP of that postseason tournament that they had.
Yeah, I did pretty good. I think I did a lot of things that they were looking for. Handle the ball, shoot the ball, some defense, check off guard in the open court.
Well, Willie Burton goes to the Miami Heat. Let's go back to Bob Neal.
Willie Burton from Minnesota, he was the MVP at the Orlando Classic, and coming up next will be the Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta today made a trade with Golden State of draft positions. It had been Atlanta 11 and Golden State 10. They just flip-flopped. And so let's talk a little bit about the Atlanta Hawks. They have a new general manager, Pete Babcock, a new head coach in Bob White. What do we think about Atlanta?
Well, you see Atlanta, they have strength for their inside play. If contact gets healthy, you've got a Moses Malone, you have a Kevin Willis. If they can re-sign Cliff Levingston, they need better team chemistry. What they really need is to stay healthy. They had injury problems last year. They need to add another shooter. I personally think that Travis Mays is a guy that's going to have a very difficult time passing on. A lot of people out there didn't get a chance to see this young man play. He can fill it up. He's a vicious competitor, and I think it's going to be tough for them to pass on him.
Atlanta's been looking for a two-guard since Lou Hudson, Rick.
Yeah, they have. I mean, it's been a long, long drought out there for them trying to find a player who can do that. And certainly, I have to agree with Doug. The Mays is certainly the prime candidate. Another player that might pop in is a guy like Rumeal Robinson, because they have a little question mark perhaps about the back of Doc Rivers, and Rumeal not only can shoot the basketball, but he can play the point as well. So I think you'd have to lean towards Mays, but don't think that Robinson doesn't have a chance.
The Atlanta Hawks, a disappointing season. They did not make the playoffs this year. They did not do well in the lottery selection, too, because they ended up at 11th, and they made the deal with Golden State to swap positions. That involves some other draft choices. That's a little bit unusual to see teams trade from a 10 to an 11. Maybe, like everybody else in the league, they're a little worried about what Don Nelson's going to do.
That's exactly right. Nelly has a reputation of being a guy who does some strange things out there, and it'll be interesting to see what they come up with in the next pick. And I think Pete wanted to make sure he snuck in ahead of him so that he had an opportunity to be able to get that pick ahead of Nelly, not knowing what he might do. And you can see what happened in the deal that they made. Golden State's going to get the first pick in the second round. Atlanta will get 2 picks further on down there as a result of this move. But definitely, I'd fall out of the chair here if Atlanta doesn't go for a shooter.
Any thoughts about Babcock, Doug Collins, and Bob White being new people there and what that may do to Atlanta's making a choice?
Well,
White kind of system.
Well, anytime you make a change, okay? I mean, Mike Fratello was there for a long time. He was very, very successful. He had the same group of players, and they decided to make a change. Mike Fratello is a tremendous coach. He's had a lot of success. Bobby White is a guy who's coached in San Antonio. He was with the Dallas team in expansion with Dick Mata. So he's been around. He knows what he has to do. I think that the change is going to be good for that ball club, okay? Nothing against Mike Fratello, but anytime you change, there's going to be some excitement. But those players are going to have to play together. It's one thing to make a change. They have to make a commitment that they want to be a good basketball team again. They were one of the most feared defensive teams in the NBA, I thought, for about 3 years.
All right, let's find out about the Atlanta Hawks. Here's David Stern.
With the 10th pick in the 1990 NBA draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Rumeal Robinson from Michigan.
Rumeal Robinson from the University of Michigan. Everybody will remember Rumeal Robinson hitting those big free throws to win the NCAA tournament a couple of years ago. Rumeal Robinson, 6'2", a point guard, a Terry Porter-type player, some people might say. And, of course, since he's just coming out of college, remember I emphasize Terry Porter-type player. Robinson can drive. He has a medium-range jump shot. He's pretty good defense, pretty good finisher. Not a bad player. Is he, however, the classic two-guard the Hawks need, Rick Barry?
No, I don't think he is the classic two-guard that they need. But again, this makes me tend to feel that they're really very concerned about Doc Rivers.
Well, I think that one thing is that he's been a proven winner at Michigan. He takes his team to the NCAA championship. You see what he can do. He has a very strong NBA body. He's going to be very durable. Questions are his free throw shooting, his shot selection. But you have to remember, he played on a team this year with 4 guys who all wanted to shoot the basketball. That might have been survival this year as much as anything else.
Yeah, they had a lot of talent on that ball club, and you can always practice the free throws and get a little bit better there, but he also does give them some more leadership. It's going to be interesting to see what he does. But a fine athlete, as you can see, tremendous strength, big, strong legs, able to go to the basket.
So Rumeal Robinson from the University of Michigan will play his basketball for the Atlanta Hawks. We'll be back to New York right after this.
The cars provide the spectacle, of course. But if the driver doesn't know the exact track conditions, he shouldn't even get behind the wheel.
Retail business lives or dies on sales information. Where is the product? How is it selling? At what price?
Let me tell you something. Everything must be changed. Engine, suspension, tire pressure, wings. And if you really want the advantage, it's got to be checked fast.
If something unusual shows up, I want to know about it immediately. I want to be able to jump on those hot, fast-moving items before anyone else even knows about them.
Anything can happen. You're taking a turn at 200 miles an hour and the wind kicks up. You better be ready for it.
If you're informed, if you're smart, you're aggressive, winner takes all.
Without up-to-date up-to-date information, you can't be accurate.
Without up-to-date information, you cannot succeed.
Toys R Us needed a computer company that could help them serve their customers best at the most difficult and demanding times. Online transaction processing from digital allows them to offer a perpetual selection of toys, faster checkout, and has helped them become the largest toy retailer in the world.